Well, friends, I am back. It has been quite a while. More than quite a while. Remember that time I promised you that I was coming back and was gonna be posting something soon and then didn't? This is me posting something soon. It's been a very long summer. If you don't know, probably because I haven't mentioned it, I've been doing something that's pretty much akin to summer stock theater out in the forest where I work. I'm home with my ever-growing book collection, the cave as I've been calling it, for a little bit before I strike out on my next adventure. Maybe the forest, maybe not, we will see. It seems like I'm always moving and I kind of am, but before I do that I wanted to share with you folks some reviews of some stuff that I have finally had time to read and finish, which has been great. So let's get started. Before we begin, it should be noted that Penguin Young Reader sent this book to me, and they said, here, we'll send you the book if you give us your review. And so here's what I think 100% my own review, because they asked me, and that's what I'm doing. Cool? Great. So this book is called Pointe, with an E, like the ballet technique, by Brandy Colbert. It came out in April, and it is about this girl named Theodora, who goes by Theo, living in Chicago, and she is a ballet dancer. She's in high school training to be a professional ballet dancer, and she has been through a lot in her life. The story opens with her having just recovered from some serious eating disorders, spending some time in a rehab facility, and working through that. On top of that, her best friend Donovan, who was her friend for most of her entire young life, has been kidnapped a couple years ago, and it's sort of eaten at her ever since. She also doesn't know what's become of her boyfriend, who was a considerable number of years older than she, so she is, I believe, 16 or 17 in this book. And so he was much older than her, and he has also disappeared, and she went through these trials and tribulations with her eating disorder, but now she is back on track, and she's back at school. She's back with a couple of her friends that she's got, and she is pretty much getting ready for auditions for like pre-professional company type organizations and conservatories and things like that. Very quickly into the story, however, she discovers that this kid from her school, whose name is either Hosi or Hoja, and I can't really pronounce it. It's H-O-S-E-A. So if anyone's got any ideas on how to pronounce that, please do let me know, because I've called him both for the entire story and have no idea how to pronounce it. So she's never really noticed this guy before now until he comes to accompany them in class on the piano, and she is immediately drawn to him for reasons that she can't understand, and doesn't understand how she feels about him, because ballet is something that's so personal to her, as it is to so many dancers, and a lot of people don't really understand that. And suddenly he's been this part of her life at school with this other girl, and now suddenly he's here, and they sort of take on this weird outside of everybody else friendship, and it's very, very secret and very secluded, and nobody really understands why they're spending so much time together. Not even Theo. Suddenly the news comes out that Donovan has returned. He's come back to his parents. He's just been missing for a number of years and no one knows where he's been, and he's not talking. He won't tell anyone anything about what happened to him, and he doesn't want to see anyone or talk to anyone other than his parents, who have been, as one might imagine, distraught the entire time that he's been gone. So that really affects Theo as news starts to unfold about what happened to him and where he went and who was with him and what may or may not have gone down while he's been gone. That being said, I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. I was originally drawn to it because as a dancer myself, I like to read work about other people who are dancers. However, my problem with it was that it tried to be too many things at once. It tried to put all of the teenage girl angst and ballet dancer angst on this one character, Theo, at once. She has the eating disorder, she has a kidnapping, there's a possibility of some really serious goings-on with her friend who has been kidnapped, she has this crush on a dude, and it's just, there are so many things happening to her that it portrays being a young ballet dancer going after something in a really terrible light. Not all ballet dancers have eating disorders. This book puts wanting to be a ballet dancer in a really terrible light for young girls. This girl goes through so much. She goes through her own problems, she goes through her friends' problems, she goes through problems at school and problems in ballet. Some days she feels like she's really, really off kilter and almost hurts herself in class a couple times. There's so much going on, and I'm sure for some people that is the case with them. but this book just threw everything at this girl, and it's a miracle that she didn't explode in her own mind, if you ask me. It was not very well done. I didn't really like the cliffhangery endings of every chapter, and I just didn't like Theo. I didn't connect with her. I didn't understand her as much as I expected to, also being a dancer, albeit never on point, but she was put through such hell in this story, and I didn't appreciate it, and I think that really threw off my feelings about it from the beginning. I think this is the debut book of Brandy Colbert. It is. It is indeed. I have to wonder if she was ever a dancer before she wrote this, because it sort of sums up what it's like. Everybody knows that to be a ballet dancer you have to have an incredible amount of drive, an incredible amount of willingness to sort of hurt yourself for your art. But you're constantly being told no, and to be better, and to be better, and to be better, and that sort of just all builds up for this girl. And anything like that is sort of easy to fake in writing, but unless you actually have been through it, it's sort of hard to really make it translate, and it did not translate well here. That being said, this book really does live in the moment, as it were. There are very up-to-date, like, modern texting references, and it's very, very much like a contemporary, this is happening right now kind of book, which I definitely appreciated. It didn't sort of skim over the fact that, you know, teenagers have cell phones and use them, so that was good to see. Her parents were pretty supportive. They weren't really a big part of the story. Her two friends, Sarah Kate and Phil, definitely could have been fleshed out more. There was obviously something going on there that was skimmed over because Theo was having so many of her own problems that we got to hear about. But yeah, 2 out of 5 stars for this book. If you have also read or even reviewed this, please leave me a note down in the comments below, letting me know what you thought of it. I'll be curious to see folks that liked it, folks that also disliked it. If you're intrigued by it, let me know. I can tell you some of the parts of the book that I actually did enjoy, which, let me be real, is not very many. But apart from that, I hope you're having lovely weeks and lovely lives. I'm happy to be back doing this more regularly. I felt very disconnected from you guys for a while because I had absolutely zero time to do anything other than my job this entire summer. So it's good to be back doing this again. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk with you very soon. There's a bird outside my window. It's making a lot of noise. Stop. Stop. Okay, we're pushing through the bird noise.